Hi, I'm going to be doing a video series on an application development workflow which uses technologies such as Docker Hub, GitHub, Jenkins, Docker itself, Selenium to do some kind of automated build process so that I can focus on writing code, checking it in, and then the servers can focus on doing the deployments and actually doing some of the testing for me. And the first part of that is going to be to build a Docker host. So I'm going to use Amazon Web Services just because it's a platform that you can all use, and I know it's not going to break. I'm going to go for one of my AMIs, which is just a basic CentOS 7 server. All I've done is added my own user and private key to that. So, what am I doing here? I don't want that because I'm going to give it what's called an EIP or an elastic IP. It will need some storage, but because this is just going to be for development, it doesn't need a huge amount, so I'll leave that at 8 gigs. And I'm going to say dev docker host. Figure the security group. I'm going to have dev docker host. Now, because this server, I'm going to go from anywhere. That's fine. SSH from anywhere, and I'm also going to have HTTP and HTTPS access from anywhere, which will basically allow me to get in, and I'm going to add another custom rule for port 8080 so that I can see Jenkins. Review that and launch it. I already have my key pair actually built into the AMI. And then it's just a case of waiting for this to initialize at first. Actually, no, whilst it's doing that, I'm going to create an EIP. So allocate a new address. Can I associate that yet? Oops. Not just yet. That's running now. It's still initializing, so still finishing building it, but I will be able to assign this elastic IP to it now. There we go. And I'm going to just, to make life easy for myself, I'm going to add this to the hosts file. There's an old test box, so I'll delete that. At some point soon I'll be able to SSH into that. So I'm just going to maximize that. You can actually see through with Linux Mint, which is quite handy in this situation. Oh, straight away. Yes, that's fine. And that's me logged in. Now, so as I said, it's an AMI. I have installed the base operating system, but it was a little while ago, so I'm just going to update the software. Try doing it as root though. Okay, so the next step is to add the Docker repo. I've actually got it on my clipboard from one that I typed out earlier, and that's basically going to put into a file this Docker repository. There's the base URL, it's enabled, it's got GPG key check, and that's where it's going to get the key from, and a file, and that just creates that into a file. Then I'm going to use that straight away to do yum install docker engine. This one shouldn't be quite as long as the updates. He says, I'm now going to make sure it starts on boot. And finally, I'm going to add the Docker group to my user. So add group Docker Bennett. And I'm going to set the host name just because I don't like having the IP address, so echo dev Docker. I can't type today. Okay, and do these so many times. Get rid of that line from hosts. Probably would be quicker just to edit hosts, actually thinking about it. So got rid of the local line, and I want to add in that's that one. Need to add a host name line here. And then finally, because it's on Amazon's cloud, we do and in here we find in fact, actually, it's not going to be in there. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and add a line which says reserved host name is true. Right, and quit that. Now, final step, I'm just going to create some folders for use by Docker when doing what am I trying to think of? Persistent storage. So I'm going to go into the home directory, just because this is where I find it easy to remember. Make a new folder called Docker. Oops. I'm going to make another one called Docker Databases. And web applications. I'm going to own them. Or add the group to that anyway. And then I'm going to give read, write, execute permissions to that group. What have I done? Oh, yeah, it's because that should be a capital R. There we go. And I'll just reboot that box. They don't normally take long to come up and back down. So that's ready to go back onto it. Come on little box. There we go. Now we can do, we have Docker installed, we won't have any machines on there. Oops. Or images. We have a nice fresh Docker install.